this is how to use NZGrapher for the experiments level 2 assessment. So if you type out NZGrapher on Google and go to NZGrapher, it would be ideal if you're using Chrome or something other than Internet Explorer. Sometimes Internet Explorer gives problems, especially in downloading things, but if not, you might have to use it if it's the only one you've got. Okay, so we've got the NZGrapher website. It's better to start from scratch. The way to do that is empty data set for editing up here on the top right. So we've got all of these here. We need to create the right columns here. First of all, you're going to have a box and whisker diagram. So what you would have here is suppose that you did a test, a memory test, and it might be a number of items, or it might be the time in this particular column here. Maybe write down time if you're measuring time. If you're measuring items, number of items, and I've written down item at the very top there as the first column. The second column would be either probably before and after. Okay, so this will show whether it was before or after or not. So before or after, and then we're going to have another column here, add column, and we call this one gender. Okay, so let's suppose we're 10 people, then we'd have to add a few extras here. So first of all, we'll just see whether if I press tab it automatically, no, it doesn't automatically add them, so we're going to have to go to row here, add row. Alright, add row until we get about, if you had 10 pieces of data, actually ideally it would be better to have at least 20, but I don't want to do that during this demonstration here. So we'll just suppose you've got 10 bits of information from 10 different people. Alright, so first person, suppose the first person remembered 19 items, you put that in there, and this was before the experiment. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste that to make it a little bit easier. Okay, before, so all of these ones have to be before. Control V, we'll just paste it a bit more easily there. Alright, so we've got 10 before, and we will have to actually have extra rows added here. So keep adding the rows until you get 20, because you're going to have 10 before and 10 after. Alright, so the next one's going to be after. Copy and paste again. Okay, so first person remembered 19 items before, and that same person remembered, say, 20 items after the experiment, maybe, after they had extra time to look at the pictures or whatever it was, I don't know. Okay, so first person could remember, say, 12 items before and then after. Okay, so after is going to be alright, let's say 13 there. Alright, so next one here could be 4 items, and then after they remembered, say, 8 items. I'll just make these up here. So you get 16, and usually a bit more, 18, but it might go down. So we'll just make this one 8, and maybe they only recorded 6 next time. Okay, so this person could have had 9, and then 11 next time. This person might have had 20, really good at remembering things, and then 20 again there, and let's say 15, and then they stayed the same, 15. This person could have had 15, and then 17. Final person could have been 18, and then 19. now have genders as well. So you might want, maybe you could just use M for male and F for female. So the first person would be male there. And once again, you've got it for after, that's a matching one down the bottom there, so that one would be male as well. Next person might have been male as well, so male, and then after, it's matching results, be male as well. So this one could be female, same person female, next person might have been male, and male down there, female, female, maybe female again, female again, female, female, and then maybe these last ones here might have all been male, 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 and then male, last three here, male, male, and then male. Okay, so that's the setup that we want in order to get our box and whiskers, the very first graph that we want. So if we go then to dot plot box and whiskers, and we choose as our first variable the item numbers. Okay, second variable we've before and after. Alright, and then we've got to go over here to get it to display properly summaries, box plots. And I'm just going to find out what's going wrong here. Something is slightly wrong, which is a bit annoying. Okay, for some reason it's not showing them all up how it should do. You got 3 items there, it's strange. Okay. Maybe we update graph. Okay, I think what we need to do is update graph. Let's see if that works. Yes, awesome. Okay, good. So let's figure that out. So if you have any trouble, just go down and click on update graph. Right, okay. And you don't have to, but confidence intervals might be useful, give you something to talk about whether they overlap or not, and whether you can maybe be confident about before and after. Your confidence intervals, if you've got more data, you'll have a better, more narrower confidence interval there. Graph title, okay. Number of items remembered before and after. Okay, so you could have something about memory test or something, or remembered for maybe for both, or just number of items remembered might be good enough. Okay, update the graphs there. Okay, right, so now what you can do is copy this image and paste it into your document. Hopefully you know how to do that. If you've got an Apple computer, there's another way of doing it where you can drag across and select the image that you want there. Alright, so you've got that there, just paste it in, and I won't demonstrate how it's done, but if it doesn't paste properly into your document online, you may have to open up Word, the normal Word program offline, and then paste it in, because it's a little bit better, and then you can edit it there. Okay, so next thing to do is, we may as well, while we're here, get, well, just another thing is color by. If you want to color by gender, that could be useful. So if you want male and female there, female is red here, and then we've got blue for male. And you can copy and paste it if you want to, like that. Next one over here is, if we choose gender as variable 3, this will give us a set of really good 4 graphs here. So you bring up the 4 graphs, and then we can copy and paste that into our assessment. Hear that dog barking out there. Okay, right, anyway. Okay, so copy and paste. I'll just try. Okay, alright, so just copy and paste that into your document there. Alright, next step is to Next step is to be able to get the different type of graph, the arrows graph for the experiment. Okay, so by the way, this graph here should be put, if you want to do excellence, this is for excellence, put it at the very end of your assessment and write up a few comparative statements about, comparing females with males and males with females before, etc. You can do a lot of comparisons here, just writing up some statements for excellence. Okay, and for excellence as well, you will definitely need to do a little bit of research online. Just find something about memory or some other, whatever other topic that you were writing about. Maybe males are better than females, or females better than males, perhaps. It seems that females could be better than males at remembering things. So, but just have a look online, because I haven't checked online, and just make sure you have a summary of whatever maybe just a couple of pages online. You write down a summary, just a sentence or so from each, summarizing each page, information that you can get there, and then also copy and paste a link into your assessment as well. And so that, combined with just writing up and comparing things like this here, with the 4 graphs here, it should really be enough for excellence. Alright, and obviously you've got to get all of the achieved stuff that I sent in earlier on. I showed you how to do that in class. Alright, the other graph that we need to have and write up about is the arrows graph. So for the arrows graph, what we need to do is just transfer all of this information down here and then put it up the top there. Okay, so we're going to have to change this to this title at the top here to before, and this title at the top here goes to after. Alright, and we can keep agenda the same, but these columns here are going to go, all of the before here is going to go here. Okay, get rid of all these all of these cells here, and we look at this 20 here. So 20 can be moved over to here. Alright, so I'm just highlighting this one way of doing it, I think. Here, and we can drag it over so we don't make any mistakes. So just drag it up to the top there. Alright, grabbing that and dragging it up, and with 6 there, dragging it up, 11, 20, 15. If you can't drag it up in, because you might have too many items on the page, then you have to do it a different way. But the point is to get all of this data up there to the top, and then what we can do is delete some of these rows, because we don't need all of the rows. So delete last row, delete last row, delete last row. Okay, there we go. Right, so that's the kind of information we want. We want before and after, and then the gender. Okay, so we've got to change this to our arrows graph. So if you go down, and first of all we should get rid of this gender thing here, and go to the arrows graph. So if you scroll down, paired experiment dot plot and arrows graph. Alright, looks like we have to update the graph. Let's see if we update. Okay, so we don't need all of this other stuff. Box plots. Okay, got to select arrows. Alright, so if you have arrow, uncheck all of the stuff there except for arrows and summaries. So this is what you should have here. You might want to actually have a look, colour by gender again, so that could be useful. So these lines here are now, females are red and the males have a different colour there, green sort of colour there. Okay, so that's that. The last one would be, you can't change, get any other things. Okay, so that's fine. So just copy and paste that, and you've obviously got to write up in your assessment about that as well. Okay, so that's it. Hope that's useful.